Alright, so we're kind of slowly building a shooter game. It looks something like this, and really what happens is when the app starts, the bullet starts going up every 1,000 milliseconds, and it's every 100 milliseconds, and it's 100 because I set the clock's timer interval to 100 milliseconds. So every 100 milliseconds that ball starts going up. Now of course we don't really want that ball to shoot until the user, let's just say until the user touches the shooter or clicks on it. Okay, so I'm going to add a shooter sprite, and I'm going to add a dot touched. Okay, and really what I don't want to move the bullet when they touch the shooter. What I want to do is enable the timer. Okay, so right now when the app starts, the bullet just shoots. Okay, so what we really need to do is, when the app begins, that bullet should not be, the clock, which is kind of triggering the movement, it should not be timer enabled. All right, I'm going to uncheck that box. Okay, so right now the clock, when the app starts, the timer is not enabled. Okay, now if I ran this, I'll go ahead and start the emulator because it's just so we can see it. So it's going to restart, and what should happen is that bullet should show up or appear right on top of the shooter and just sit there. Okay, but what we're going to do is we're going to make it so once the user touches the shooter sprite, so when he tries to shoot, okay, we could also have a button and do the same thing, but once the user triggers the shooting, then we're going to re-enable the clock. Okay, so notice the bullet, as before, it's not moving. Okay, and that's because we disabled the timer on the clock. But when the player touches this shooter, we'll re-enable the clock. So I'm going to grab the clock. It's going to have a set timer enabled. Okay, and it's a Boolean, so it's got to be true or false. And to get true or false, I go over to logic, and there's true. Okay, I want to set it to true. Okay, still nothing's happening yet. The app starts, the timer is disabled because in our component designer we unchecked this box. So timer enabled is false. Okay, but when the shooter sprite is touched, we're going to enable the timer, and that's going to cause this 10 pixels every 100 milliseconds to start up. So I've got focus over here. Now I click, and there goes my bullet. Alright, so we're starting to see something that looks like a shooter game.